Colonel Butler says that his people would rather go to Japan than go back among the Americans, where they could never live in peace. Colonel Alan MacLean.
Ontario is still a wilderness called the Upper Country when the men of Butler's Rangers face a new reality. The Niagara Peninsula was their base of operations during the Revolution. Now it will be home. Private Peter Bowman has been at war since he turned 13. Now at age 20, the warrior will become a farmer.
My father settled on his land near the Falls of Niagara. The government found seed to plant and sow the first year. Men, women, and children all went to work clearing the land.
It is the price of backing the Revolution's losing side. The Bowmans have left behind a homestead. The Iroquois have lost lands their people held for centuries.
When we heard peace was made between His Majesty and the Americans, we were struck with astonishment at learning we were forgot in the treaty. We could not believe it possible that such firm friends and allies could be so neglected by a nation remarkable for its honor and glory, for whom we had served with so much zeal and fidelity.
Britain tries to carve out lands for the Iroquois in the peace treaty, but the Americans refuse. In the fall of 1784, Brant leads 1,800 of his people to a new homeland on the banks of the Grand River. What they lost in the land of their ancestors, they will rebuild in the land of their future. At the other end of Lake Ontario, thousands of Loyalists are taking up their land along the St. Lawrence River. Settlements are springing up between Cornwall and Kingston.
I baptize you in the name of the Father.
By 1791, the Upper Country has the fastest growing population on the continent, and the Loyalists begin agitating to be recognized as a colony separate from Quebec, a colony where they can have a role in governing themselves.
The congregation of Christ's flock.
Loyalist settlers have already convinced Britain to divide Nova Scotia, creating the new colony of New Brunswick with its own elected assembly. In London, Colonial Secretary William Grenville now fears if he does not also divide Quebec, the French Canadians and the British Loyalists will never live in peace.
If these two bodies and classes of men, differing in their prejudices and perhaps in their interests, were to be consolidated into one legislative body, dissensions and animosities might probably prevail. It should seem, therefore, that the natural remedy for this would be the separation of the province into two districts.
In June 1791, Quebec is divided into the colonies of Upper and Lower Canada, each with its own governor and elected assembly. In the next few years, under the stewardship of John Graves Simcoe, Upper Canada will change dramatically. He offers free land, attracting a new brand of settler. American pioneers from New York and Pennsylvania, New Jersey and Connecticut. Lady Elizabeth Simcoe is astounded at their numbers.
A great many settlers come daily from the United States, some even from the Carolinas, about 2,000 miles away. 500 or 600 miles is no more considered by an American than moving to the next parishes by an Englishman.
Soon, the American settlers outnumber the Loyalists in Upper Canada by 4 to 1, and these new arrivals have no particular allegiance to the British Crown. At the time, that didn't seem to matter, but within 15 years, Canada will be in peril, and the question of loyalty will haunt those who must defend it. On the 21st of January, 1793, Louis XVI, King of France, climbed a scaffold in Paris. The Catholic priest, Father de Fermont, steadied his arm.
It was all over in a few moments. The youngest of the executioners took hold of the head and brandished it around the people gathered at the scaffold. Soon a few cries of "Vive la République" could be heard. Then the shouts multiplied, and this chant became the cry of thousands.
The killing of a king helped propel the second great revolution of the century, and it launched a war in Europe that would spill across the ocean to North America. Canada would begin the new century with a fight for survival, a war that would decide the future of two nations. And extinguish the dreams of a third.